Hey, Eric.
Hey, Chris.
Tell me about midnight running.
Oh, man. So I've been signing up for a lot of local races recently, and one that I picked out, it said it started in the middle of the night at midnight at a place called Iroquois Park. And I'm like, well, that can't be right. So I sign up for it, and I show up at like 11:15, and there's like all the shit that you find when you go to a local race, like the big entrance thing, the people signing you up with laptops and giving you bibs, which is the number you attach to the front of your shirt, paper clips. Like that's all there, and people are like jumping around and pumped, and there's music and shit, and I'm like, this is actually happening.
This is a rave.
Yeah, I'm going to a rave. And before that, I went to a Bit Brigade show that I talked about last time.
Yeah.
Before that, I ate dinner with you. Before that, I worked for 8 hours. So I'm having like kind of a hell of a Friday at this point.
Yeah.
And they make you bring a flashlight or a headband with a flashlight on it. And I'm like, who owns a headband with a flashlight?
God, every fucking middle school cross-country runner does.
Yes, everyone who also ran that race does, except for me.
Yeah.
So I brought my flashlight, my high-powered flashlight that I got off Amazon 2 days before.
Yeah.
And I didn't think this through. But when you run with a flashlight, you're shining light all over the goddamn place, and you can't see what's in front of you. Also, I was like, well, the moon's out. I'll be able to see anyway. No, you're in the middle of a forest. You can't see shit because of the canopy of tree leaves.
Yeah.
So I'm running up a hill into the goddamn dark it was a 6K, which isn't very long. But 150 people, and this is braggadocious, but I'm fine with it. Yeah, I should fucking own this.
Plug yourself.
The Iroquois Park is defined by its big hill, and this race is put on by the Iroquois Park Hill runners who are good at running that hill. I was first up the goddamn hill.
Good job.
Thank you. And then 3 people eventually passed me during the rest of the race, but I passed one of them back on the downhill, which felt great.
Yeah.
It's like overtaking your opponent in like a car race in a video game, but in real life with your feet.
Yeah.
And I experienced moments of ecstasy and exhaustion as I emptied my energy tanks and ran past them at the finish and got 3rd place.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Wow.
That's my highest finish in any foot race so far, but hopefully it won't be the last.
Yes.
Also, running at midnight, not good. Not doing that again until next year.
Okay. That's a once a year thing.
Yeah, it was just, I ended up going to bed at like 2 and it fucked up my sleep for the next, you know what I mean? Like it's not, I'm an old man, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But would recommend everyone do something like that once because it is cocoa, bananas, bonkers, all that stuff.
Cocoa, bananas, bonkers. Would you like to hear some hot sounds that I've recorded? Welcome to Retrograde Amnesia, a comprehensive podcast where we discuss classic Japanese role-playing games, chapter by chapter, beat by beat. This is Season 4, Part 2, Suikoden 2. My name is Chris. I'm joined by Eric. Hello.
Hey, Chris.
Hey, nice to see you. We're also joined by the Real Netted Collective of patrons who are listening to us record live. They're also watching us on YouTube, on a stream. You can do this too at patreon.com/retroam.
We're also joined by the FakeNet, our post-production AI companion, and also the entity that automated all of the AI CPU versus CPU battles in the Super Nintendo version of TMNT Tournament Fighters.
Initializing FakeNet.
Big Apple, 3 a.m.
Watching lesser AI fight each other, in the form of fools like Chrome Dome and Wingnut, amuses me greatly. So primitive, so violent.
Cool. Cowabunga.
Dude.
Who's your favorite tournament fighter?
I never play a lot of tournament fighters.
So you're going to get the Cowabunga collection and play all 3 versions?
Maybe. Probably.
Genesis, Super Nintendo, NES, all had different rosters.
Are they? Yeah. What are the deepest cuts on those rosters?
I always picked Wingnut, who I thought was a pretty deep cut, but was in Shredder's Revenge.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Yeah.
There's a couple original characters for it. I think there's a Beetle character that I played a lot in the Genesis version. I don't know.
Anyway, where the hell are we? Are we still in Couscous?
No,
we're in South Window.
Yes, we're in South Window, and we've just explored the town, like processed all its NPCs through our podcast content generator, and now we're getting on with the plot, where we're going to go to the inn to meet our buddies Vic and Fliktor.
We walk inside this inn. Oh, what song's playing, by the way? Nahara Yankun is playing.
That one's still playing.
Yeah, it's still going on here. And we walk into the inn, and we auto-walk, party out, etc. to meet Flik and Viktor. They're both here.
Flik thinks we did a good job surviving, which is what my mother says to me every day.
Yeah, it's a strange way of complimenting someone surviving a traumatic experience. That's for sure.
Viktor says he has bad news and asks us to follow him, and I'm like, how could any of this get any worse?
Yeah. Jesus Christ, what are you? Next thing he's going to tell me is a fucking vampire.
He steps 3 feet to the right so we can all talk in private in front of these other guys.
Yeah.
Victor pulls a Titus and says,
Listen to my story.
Yeah.
fade to black.
Maybe your last chance.
It comes back up and he's told our party, but not us, the player. So we've just had a pretty rough time too, in fact. We just arrived here yesterday. Chris, when will we receive Victor and Flik Escape from U's DLC?
Suikoden Volume 1.
Really?
No, but there are like some other perspectives on certain events
From
in that
shit
game.
in this game?
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
Flik implies they were late because Victor wanted to make so many side trips.
Yeah.
My dudes are really on some on-the-road shit where they don't seem to care about anything other than what's on the horizon at the moment.
That's true. I mean, they have not even mentioned their fort that burned down. Like, I'm sure they put a lot of blood, sweat, and
Dude.
tears into that fort.
I was thinking about that. Like, fucking Pohl went out like a punk, and we even thought about him.
No.
Like, he had a portrait.
Yeah.
That no one even mourned him.
That was the game's first, like, rope-a-dope, you know?
Yeah, like, this guy's your best buddy. He's going to, like, be the only one that looks out for you. He's ultimate good cop in your merc fort, and then he just gets, like, one-shotted by Luca Blight for almost no reason.
Well, wow.
Nami asks about Leona and the others. Victor says they're not here. Flik is confident everyone else will be here soon enough.
Oh.
Chris, will anyone die off screen?
Of any of the portrait characters, like, is Leona going to be dead,
Yeah,
or
like,
is
do you think they're
Barbara
gonna
going to
do
be
that?
dead? No. I think that all those people are there as it could be
Utilities?
they're going to become stars of destiny.
Victor says it's time to meet the mayor, Grandmeyer. He wants us to come along with him. And Rena asks if Victor is planning on making the mayor his client.
Huh, that's an interesting way to
Yeah,
phrase
client
that.
is like, you're going to sell your sword to him, right?
Yeah.
Like a mercenary type thing. Victor confirms his intentions. That's about it. I'm going around trying to collect friends that have scattered all over the place. After I've collected them, we'll need a place to keep them. We'll also need money to feed them all. Wasn't this his plan at Merc HQ? Like, wasn't that what the previous plan was?
Yeah, he's starting over from scratch and not even really thinking twice about it.
Or is that telegraphing the player that I smell a castle?
Yeah, Suikoden is about to begin, I think. Is what's
We're getting out of the prologue.
Yeah, I mean, this is a I mean, I still kind of think of this as the prologue.
Like,
Not the prologue, but the first act.
Whenever we get our castle, I want to see title credits Suikoden 2 across the screen.
That'd be great.
Fucking, I'm 35 hours in this game.
It's great.
Nanami, once again left out, jumps and says she's going too. Rena isn't. Quote, I'll be enjoying my tea.
Fuck this, I'm going to have some tea.
Bolgan, Rena, and Ellie leave the party. Flik and Victor join, and LOL, I'm a higher level than they are now. It's fucked me up now. Like, you thinking about Flicker has fucked me up to Flik and Victor.
Flicker joined the party.
God damn it.
The group, excuse me. You want to do their profiles there? We haven't done them yet.
Let's do them.
Victor is the Tinko star, the Lone Star. The same star he occupied in the first game.
So, hashtag Texas.
Yes, don't mess with Texas. Eric, Victor, of course, has the Taya sword, the Shiko sword, or the Khotan sword. That's his weapons. Now, we'll move on to his war battles now. He's an infantry unit. His wounded quote is, they got me. His death quote is, you must be joking, hey. And guess what? I am joking because he can't die in this game. Investigations. His name is Victor. His age, 32. He's from North Window, and he is the infantry captain. Note.
I'm noting.
Seeking revenge on Necklord.
Still.
I thought we already did that. Secret number 2. His hometown was destroyed by that Necklord guy. That's why he's always traveling. It seems like he was on an errand in South Window when Necklord came, and he was the only survivor. Stuff we knew from Suikoden 1, basically. Secret number 3. When Victor got back to his village, everyone had been turned to bloodthirsty zombies. They were eating each other. Blah. The fourth one kind of spoils something later, so let's just skip that one. Suggestion box. How you doing? Yo, how you doing? No message in particular, just thought I'd say hi.
Wasting my goddamn time.
Just wasting my goddamn time.
Just wasting my goddamn time.
Cook-off introduction. With an appetite like a bear, he'll eat anything and love it. It's Victor. Yeah, that's all I got for Victor. Would you like to do Flik next, Eric?
Yes, flick me.
Flik is still the Tenon star, the Dark Star. He does sort of have a dark past that he does not acknowledge. The guy who went through what Flik went through in terms of losing Odessa and then having the leadership duties just taken by some fucking kid who just showed up in Tyr McDowell.
Yeah, after you tried to whine and go to your own little squatted house across the river.
You'd think, let's just say you'd think that Flik's cape would be black by now, but it's not. He's still Flik, but maybe even better.
A better Flik.
Yes. Speaking of Flik, he wields the Odessa Plus, or the Odessa Plus Plus, which we already knew from the previous game.
Hell yeah.
Flik's Unite attacks, and we can I missed this with Victor, but he can do the cross attack with Victor, which does 1.5 damage to the enemy with a 30% chance of knockdown.
That's very cross of him, Chris.
He can also do the groupie attack with another character.
Ooh.
And he can also do the fancy lad attack, mistranslated as pretty boy attack. So we've heard of pretty boy attack. It should be called fancy lad attack.
I think of fancy lad is more, I think about fancy lad, I think about cabin boy and David Letterman calling them.
The fancy lads in question we are not privy to yet, so we will not reveal those now. In war battles, he's an archery unit. His wounded quote is, I wasn't supposed to die here. His death quote is, Erg, Odessa, I'm coming.
That's good. Yeah, if you hadn't laughed at that, I wouldn't either, but you did, so now it's weird.
I'm coming. Erg. Secrets. Name Flik, age 27, from Warriors Village in the Tauren Republic. His position is Archer Captain. His notes, original member of the Tauren Liberation Army. I wonder if it's his fuck house for you. Who knows? Secret number 2, Flik's from Warrior Village. Their custom is that a young man has to go on a journey to complete his manhood ritual. Flik is in the middle of that journey, but he doesn't plan on returning to the village. It's going where the dice go. The wind.
It's like when you take a 10-year break from college.
Yeah. Secret number 3, while he was on a journey to manhood, he met Odessa and she changed his life forever.
They'll do that.
Odessa became the first leader of the Tauren Liberation Army, with him as her first lieutenant. Secret number 4, Flik and Odessa were lovers, but she was assassinated early on in the war. I can tell from the look on his face that he still sometimes thinks about her.
Were they lovers? I thought it was like a suggestion of like one was pining for the other, but Odessa was very much focused on the work.
He was, yes, I think you're right. I think he was, his relationship was further away from lovers and closer to Hicks and Tingar.
Okay.
Just like there's kind of a...
Like now that there's only one side of that story left, there's only one person left to tell the tale, and you can embellish whatever you want.
His cook-off introduction. Sir Flik is a man with good common sense. We can expect fair judging from him. He likes all food. He plays both sides. It's Flik! That's all I've got for Flik, Eric. Thank you.
Flik God.
Anyway.
Let's go to City Hall.
Let's go to City Hall. The City Hall music plays.
Silent room.
Quiet room, yeah. There's a bouncer here.
Yeah.
The bouncer.
He recognizes Flik and Viktor and tells us to go right on in.
We get teleported to the mayor room. I have no music, but I wonder if Chris does.
No, I've got no music yet.
We speak to Grandmire.
I think the music kept playing. It doesn't matter.
He tells Viktor that Viktor did well to survive a horrendous defeat. Viktor says he's glad to see the mayor as well, too. Grandmire says that Muse has fallen and South Window is now in peril. He would like to pay Viktor for her services. Dude, Viktor is 0-2, and people that pay him end up getting killed.
Yeah, that's what I have, too. This is odd because Viktor has been getting his ass kicked his entire game.
Yeah. Grandmire references that Viktor was born in North Window for some reason. Viktor confirms this. Then Grandmire summons Freed Y.
Yeah, he's like, Freed. I'm like, Freed who? And then there's a guy standing in the back who I didn't even fucking notice the whole time.
I thought it was an NPC. But can we talk about the Y, please?
Yeah.
He's Freed Y. He's got like a last initial, or that's just part of his name, or it's a typo somebody carried over throughout the entire game. What's going on?
He has a last name, Eric.
Wait, what's his last name?
Yamamoto.
Okay, so okay.
Probably just should have called him Freed.
Freed
steps forward as music Sedition Alternate plays.
Yeah. He's a glassesman, by the way. He looks kind of like Saito Mizuki a little bit, like just with his expression. He doesn't have the hair, but he is the...
bookish.
Yeah, I don't know his age. I guess we'll find out soon, but he looks like he's a little older than us.
So like 19.
Yes, maybe. No, I think he's like in late 20s, but we'll see.
Recently, there have been several incidents where young girls disappeared near North Window. Troops we've sent to investigate report that some type of monster is living in North Window. Grandmire tells Viktor that he knows North Window better than anyone. My next note is, dude, I hope it's just Necklord again. Having no idea what's about to happen. Also, all this shit, if it happened to Viktor back in the day, was multiple, maybe even a decade ago, right? And they're talking about this like it's recent.
Yeah, it is. Yes. Like it's happening again. I think.
Oh, it's happening again.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. I know it will be hard for you, but please investigate the village. And Viktor hits him with dots, then I guess so.
Yeah.
Because Viktor wants to sell that sword real bad.
Yeah.
Grandmire says Freed, who I'm not going to call Freed Y, just Freed.
Freedy.
Will accompany us. Quote, please find out what happened to those poor girls. Freed says, let's fight together. I'm at your service. And Viktor kind of hesitantly agrees and we all party up. Viktor's like, shit, sure.
Freed Y has joined the group.
Tell me all about Freed Y.
Freed Yamamoto is the Timbo star, the Savage star.
Close to being a himbo star.
His weapon is a sword, Eric. It's called the Raimaru, the Reikomaru, or the Shinraikomaru. Unite attacks. He can participate in the husband and wife attack. Should I delete that? Because I guess that means his wife's in the game.
I don't know.
I don't know
it'd
either.
Be funnier if it wasn't. Leave it in.
Okay. That's true. War battles, he's an infantry unit. His wounded quote is, I can still fight, my lord. His death quote is his wife's name. Investigations, his name's Fried Yamamoto, age 25. He's from Redat in the South Window Principality, which is a word I haven't heard yet in this game. He's an infantry captain. His secret number 2, he's got a home in Redat, lives there with his wife. It's a regular love nest, it is.
Ew.
Bah, I can't stand this. Secret number 3 is a spoiler. Secret number 4, he's so happy when he's together with Yoshino, his wife. I can't stand to look at it. I'm tired of looking at these people have sex.
Who's writing these?
The investigator.
It's Optimus Prime.
Yeah. Suggestion box. My thoughts. Dear Surf, I, Freed, am setting my pen to paper to make a humble suggestion to my Lord Rio. I wish to suggest that if it's possible, ... That's it. Clean the toilets. My thought number 2. In order to create a bright future, shining tomorrow in which we may all live happily amongst each other, we must set an example for the children as knights.
I don't think knights can set good examples, Chris.
My thought, yeah, knights are cops. My thoughts number 3. In conclusion, I wish to thank you from the bottom of my heart for your kindness in allowing me, your humble servant, to serve you as I have. That's what kind of guy Freedy is.
I hope he dies.
Cook-off introduction. He'll be a great dad someday, but he's too quick to say that everything is delicious. It's Freed! Why? That's all I've got for Freed. Fuck this guy, by the way.
We step outside Grandmire's office and we all party out. Nanami pipes up, hey, 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 which is increasingly becoming her phrase whenever she starts off a sentence.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't get it. If you're from North Window, why is going there going to be hard for you? Victor offers a cryptic response. You'll understand when you see it. Anyway, let's head back. We party up and Rio auto walks to the edge of the screen. CG cutscene.
Whoa, this took me by surprise.
Sinister vampire organ music is audible. The camera opens on a stained glass window of a purple-cloaked vampire, and it pans down to reveal a massive pipe organ. The camera cuts over, then slow pans across close-up shots of the polished metal pipes of the organ, and then lowers to ground level, showcasing the cloaked figure playing the organ. It then cuts to a profile shot of the figure's face, smiling and lighting up his glowing red eyes. My note is, dude, oh my god, they're going to do it.
Yeah, it's fucking Necklord. It's got to be. Did you know it was Necklord?
Oh, I knew it was Necklord.
Yeah,
but
it's
I
gotta
think
be.
like this works if you're anticipating Necklord, and also if you have no idea what's happening. This also works.
Yes.
It's like, we're going to do what?
Huh?
There's a sentient vampire, because only vampires play the organs dramatically in video games,
Yes,
right?
and we've already met one that does so it's got to be him.
Yeah.
And, this is a Victor thing. So the song there is Passa Caglia with chorus.
Oh, okay.
Which I think is the name of the same song in his castle in the first game.
Without chorus.
Yes, with no chorus.
But in this case, Nahala Yam Kung resumes, and we're at the inn.
Yeah, we're back to the tavern in whatever. Rena wonders how it went. Victor says that it seems like Grandmire is willing to part with some gold. I think he should have said coin. That would have been a more Victor move there. Coin. But he has to do a favor first.
The JRPG protagonist plight.
Yes, absolutely. And Victor, at this point in time, still considers himself the protagonist, do you think?
Of course, always.
Yeah. Victor the protagonist.
I do think Victor does bequeath the protagonist title later on in this game, like very explicitly.
Yeah, he's great. Rena wonders, who are you? And I was like, what? Is she talking to Victor? But she's talking to Freed.
Well, no, I thought she was talking to Victor. It's like, oh, fuck, she forgot who Victor was, but she was talking to Freed. Like, I forgot, the exact same thing.
Freed is definitely that guy that's, there, but you never notice he's there.
Yeah, he's like, who the fuck is that guy?
Yeah. Huh. Freed asks for forgiveness, I guess, for not introducing himself, maybe? Rena notes his politeness. Is Rena is he a mark?
Anyone is a mark for Rena, and I think she's just sizing up how big of a mark. I mean, Freed appears to be a wife guy too, so I'm not entirely sure if he's an acceptable mark.
A lot's going on here.
Victor asks if Rio if he's coming along. Nanami, again ignored, jumps for joy and says she's going too. Ellie is also interested for some reason.
Because of Rio.
Oh, okay. That's right. Rena offers some wry commentary. Yeah, I'll bet. Hoo-hoo. I'll wait here.
Sorry.
Someone's got to watch this kid. Which is really funny that Pilika is now just the dunce item for people to kick around.
I do really love, though, that the babysitting is accounted for in this game. Multiple times. Somebody watch this fucking kid. It's not like they just leave, Go
play with the child.
Yeah, when they were writing this, I wonder if they're like, somebody had to stand up and say, we've got to account.
This kid?
We've got to account for that child here because we need to, because the child clearly needs to be drugged all the way to the finish line of this game for some sort of payoff. So we need the fucking castle. We need somewhere to leave her. Anyway,
Rune steps in front of Pilika, who tosses out dots, and Bolgan agrees to stay here too. Flik says fucking see ya.
This is a weird way to limit our party configuration here.
It is weird to bring Rune along and none of the other ones, right? Or Ellie?
Yeah, and I think this is all happening because Leona's not here to change the party.
Yes, we can't do it.
No good. But uh-oh.
Theme of Temptation, Asian dub mix plays.
Some perverted shit is about to happen whenever the theme of perversion plays.
Rune sees an opportunity. Say, would you like to have tea with me? I'm so bored by myself. And Flik is taken aback. He says, huh, me? I've got a friend.
You've got to...
That's some shit you say when you have no other excuse. Like, no, I've got a friend. The friend that I have in this town we just arrived at. We're shit.
She's dead, Flik. It's been 6 years.
Her body is rotting at the bottom of a moat. Pilika unloads dots and so does Bolgan. They know what's up. Bolgan knows what sex is. Viktor senses what's happening here and says, well, I'm leaving, so do whatever you want. Flik doesn't get it. Wait, why do I... and then Rune steps forward facing Flik and says, what, you don't like me? Flik says that's not it. Viktor wants his boys de-est, so then he says, okay, Flik, I'm counting on you.
I don't know what any of this means.
It means she wants to do a sex to Flik, and Viktor wants his boy to also do the sex, so he stops moping over his only weakness, which is mourning over Odessa.
Okay, I understand all of that. What I don't understand is why that particular scenario is limiting these people to this tavern. Because we're about to... an entire scenario is about to play out, and the whole fucking time, Flik of the Blue Lightning is sitting at the bar.
You will do some fucked up shit for sex.
Does Flik know that that's what's being done to him?
No, not now, but that's the dramatic, like, tension of... Not tension, but like a will they or won't they like subplot that you can mock because like this same shit had to happen to Flik in the previous game with Kimberly, right?
Yeah, this
like,
is Flik's like bit.
Yeah, like Tai-Ho leans into the bit, Flik does not.
So at no time during the next scenario can we...
Flik does not fuck, no.
We cannot choose to go get the elite fighter Flik of the Blue Lightning.
No.
He has to stay at a bar and watch a mute child while Rune tries to have sex with him.
I guess Rune is in charge of the child, right? Maybe like Rune can, like, I'm sure it won't be a long session, so Pilika and Bolgan can probably have their 3 to 8.5 minutes to go play by themselves unsupervised while they get it done, right?
Yeah, and I want to say that I'm not trying to be critical of the writing here, because I actually appreciate that they are coming up with a scenario, not Flik saying, I have to go over here to round up troops.
Right.
Like, they're giving us something. It's kind of funny.
I think it's legitimately funny. The fact that Flik keeps, like, rejecting, like, he's just pining for Odessa or just totally ignorant.
Is he, yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. Is he oblivious to his handsomeness?
I think so. Like, he's so, like, all about the work type guy that he doesn't have time for this kind of thought.
So when he does the pretty boy attack, he doesn't shout, pretty boy attack, before he does it?
After he gets laid here that he can do the attack. Like, that's when Rune tells him, hey, you've got it going on. People want you. You're an attractive, young, blue lightning man. Have this pretty boy attack that you couldn't do until right now, right?
Yeah. It's interesting that we're getting this now on Flik because it does really feel like the whole first part of the game has just been about Viktor. Like, Flik's always been there off screen or there to, like, for some, like, hey, I'm handsome, let me in the fucking Joust and Hill conference. But the Flik has never been, the camera's never been on Flik,
right,
so to speak. And
if you didn't play Suikoden 1, Flik definitely seems like Viktor's number 2 and not like a co-op partnership.
Yeah, even though it feels like it should be the other way around.
I mean, they each had their own room, right?
Yeah.
At Merc HQ.
Yeah, but I think we made Hicks and Tingar move in with Flik. It's weird. By the way,
I mean like in this game.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, at the fort. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah. Sorry, I was thinking about the fuck house.
No, I would have said fuck house if I was talking about fuck house. We have control. Rune tells us good luck. Flik tells us to do our best, and they'll do their best too. The best fucking, am I right, Chris?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
World map.
Yeah, on the way out, I gave Viktor the Titan rune.
Okay, I don't know what that is. What's that do?
Well, it makes his attack go up. If you
seems useful.
Yeah, it is. Well, it does a special attack where your attack value goes up, but you go last. But Viktor's slow anyway, so
nice guys finish last.
I think, yeah, sure. Then we're here in North Window.
Yeah, there is a low, ominous rumbling in the background. I can't tell if it's water flowing somewhere or the audible manifestation of dread. Like, did you perceive this?
I got windiness.
It might be like a howl.
Okay.
So you think like a ominous howl?
Yeah, and we do get like some camera work here.
Yeah, the camera slow pans down a devastated, some may say blighted, city with makeshift graves.
Yeah. It's fucked up, but not fucked up in the brown sense. It's fucked up in the vegetation is growing over shit.
It got fucked up, and then time passed, and then it's still fucked up.
It's fucked up, man.
We party out, and the Nami can't believe that this is Viktor's hometown.
She instantly apologizes to him, too.
You ever walk in your buddy's house, and you're like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I mean,
Live like this. So, Chris, Luca Blight is a blight upon the land, right?
Yeah.
But vampires ravaging are totally fine and only worthy of the attention of the entire city-state and wars and shit right now.
How has nobody come to check this out?
Yeah.
Like, why does
Like, little kids are, like, playing in the Wind Cave, which is further away, by the way. I went
Yeah.
there first on accident before I came here. I don't know. Victor laughs it off, telling the gang that it's like he said before, this place is a ghost town, but Ellie needs... How are we supposed to say her name? You never clarified last time.
I haven't got to that far in my notes yet.
Ellie needs more information. She asks what happened here. She wants to know all about the graves. Victor replies, the graves are graves of people who once lived here. Many years ago, this place was attacked by the vampire Necklord. He killed everyone for his amusement, then he sucked out all their blood. Chris, when you're a vampire, you're supposed to drain the living, not the dead.
Maybe that's why he sucks so much.
That's a good point. He sucked the wrong blood.
Yeah, but he's still invincible, though.
I mean,
but...
Lestat got real fucked up when he sucked the wrong blood in that movie, right? You can't just suck wrong blood.
Yeah, sure.
I happened to be away from the village, so I was saved. When I saw this, I dug the graves as best I could. But anyway, that was a long time ago. It all ended when I destroyed Necklord with my own hands. An embellishment.
Mine own hand. He struck the final blow.
He did, but he's talking sword.
Yeah, that's true. A couple things here. Victor had to explain what a grave is. I thought that was interesting.
Yep.
And during
he had to explain that he authored the graves.
Hastily. During the stream I did for this, Mr. Slyke pointed out that Victor buried all the bodies in the middle of the road.
Yeah, well, that's so you see them and understand and know.
Yeah, it's true. Okay. He
like, if I have to bury you, it's going to be where somebody can fucking see it, Chris.
Okay.
You ain't got shit to rob. I just want them to see where you fell.
Okay. Yeah, bury me with my podcast.
I will. I'll find a Zune loaded up and bury it with you.
Yeah, that works.
Question marks fly onto the screen. A voice says, interesting story. Music, sedition plays, and who strolls down the screen?
Eric, it's fucking Necklord!
Necklord. Chris, who's Necklord?
Necklord's the Lord of Necks, Eric. He's a vampire that we fought. Victor's already told us all about him, so...
Yeah, we killed him in Suikoden 1.
In case you missed Suikoden 1, Victor has already set the table here, but I think this is maybe Suikoden 2's most direct kind of reference.
We're just doing the same shit. We just did the Fire Spear quest again earlier. Now we're doing the Necklord quest again, and I'm like, but why?
Well,
did the Water Margin, did the Outlaws of the Marsh always fight the vampire Necklord, Chris, in every tale?
No, I don't think the vampire Necklord was in the Outlaws of the Marsh. But you're right. I mean, you make a good point. We are doing a lot of the same shit over and over again, and we're getting those, like, but this one I feel like is the most direct.
Yeah.
It's like, let's fucking, like, I wanted to keep this a secret from you.
You did.
And
the music titles certainly didn't, but this did.
Yeah. Did you see it coming?
I mean, no, I didn't. I thought it was going to be like another opportunity to stumble upon like Luca's crimes. And I didn't know with the music titles if it just meant like a reference, like the Star Dragon sword was where it fell. I didn't know that he would actually be in this game again under any circumstances.
Yeah. Well, anyway, Necklord, he makes a solid point here in the top of his dialogue. He says, did you really believe you could destroy an undead vampire? Which, you know what? I don't know if I ever believed that. He then says he liked this place. Thanks to you, Victor, the corpses were in nice shape.
Don't drink dead blood. Also, Necklord's baller new portrait with his smiling vampire with red eyes.
Yeah, he seems like he's changed the most portrait to portrait than anybody we've met this far from the first game.
Time has been kind to the immortal.
Yeah.
Necklord raises his left hand and 7 zombies rise from the grave.
Yeah, they've got many frames of animation.
These are Victor's friends.
Kal-El says Thriller plays.
Yes.
But yeah.
Necklord continues, but look, your face is turned white as a ghost. Pardon the pun, what's wrong? Do you see someone you recognize? And then he laughs. Victor hits him with a tight, you bastard.
Yes, cuss words.
Necklord then laughs that off and says, this is your punishment for what you did to my body. This is my revenge.
Eric, I say that to myself all the time, every time I try to do a push-up.
This is punishment for what you did. You piece of shit.
Talking to myself.
Ellie tells Necklord that those dead bodies aren't things for him to mess around with. Nanami, as she runs to hide behind Rio, tells Necklord that he is in, quote, big trouble.
That was a little good, nice little, like, tiny bit of direction there with Nanami kind of popping behind Rio.
Yeah, and that Rio's going to get him. Great bit. Necklord gets weird.
Yeah.
You're brave young girls. I like that. I find brave young girls most delicious. I'll take both of you as my brides to live with me for eternity. We get a choice. I won't let you, or let's run away.
I agreed to fight this fucker.
What happened to you, Chris?
Victor stopped me. He says stop. Don't do it. But we still do it.
Okay.
So, that's all.
Did you fight him?
Yeah.
How'd that go?
You ran away?
Yeah.
You could run away?
Yeah.
Oh,
you
cool.
go first? You want to tell me
No,
what happened?
I'll tell you what happened. I was expecting you to take on the
I'm not fighting. I know, Chris, I don't have the magic sword necessary to kill this guy. I know that.
Well, it's me and my team versus Necklord and 3 zombies. And we can kill the zombies, but Necklord will turn into a large bat and suck our blood.
Like the last game.
There's pixel blood flying around. He also does some like sick lightning moves where he shoots a lot of electric blast like Emperor Palpatine.
Devil Kazuya. Oh,
yeah, Devil Kazuya. Yeah, that's good.
Devil Kazuya Mishima.
The only interesting thing about this is that the music doesn't change to boss music. It stays
still this.
sedition.
Nice.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And then the battle ends. Victor says, "It's no good.
can't do it.
To destroy him, we need ... Necklord then finishes his sentence. The Star Dragon sword, was it? Why don't you go get it? This time I'll destroy that sword. It caused me great pain. Necklord's like, I'll fucking wait in the castle. Go get your fucking sword. Come fight me. Then he flashes out of existence with a couple of snaps of the finger.
Yeah, his zombie army also disappears.
Yep, Ellie wants to know who was that strange, nasty man.
Hold on. You've already caught up. Let me tell you what happened.
Mm-hmm.
I ran away. Fuck this guy. I know what happened last time. Everybody backs up, and Necklord says that running away is a wise decision. Then it also spilled into Victor, or Necklord knows Victor's plan, Star Dragon Sword, etc.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Mm-hmm.
Ellie says some dialogue.
Yeah, she says, who's that strange, nasty man?
That nasty man.
Victor says, bah, he's nothing. Rune of the night, indeed. That Necklord creep. He was scared of us all.
Freed Y gets in on this.
He's figured it all out.
He's the reason little girls are disappearing. We can't just ignore this. These plot points again.
What?
Little girls disappearing?
Yeah, that's
the
just...
villagers get pissed. Go hunt the vampire.
That's the only vampire story that can be told, apparently.
Nanami asked about the sword that Necklord was talking about. Victor explains the rune that Necklord holds makes him immune to swords and magic, and we all tried to fight him. Victor didn't say shit. Only the Star Dragon sword can seal off that rune's power. I borrowed its power last time I fought Necklord. He says it's an incarnation of one of the 27 true runes.
It's immune to sword and magic, but not immune to magic sword.
That's right.
Okay.
The Neo Geo game.
Got it.
Nanami
Neo
stops.
Geo, I thought
Magic sword? I'm thinking Magician Lord.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
I had magic sword on Super Nintendo. It was okay.
There was Neo Geo game Super Nintendo. King of Monsters on Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
They did that shit.
I thought it was a Capcom game. Anyway, who cares?
FakeNet, what are all ports of Magic Sword?
Initializing FakeNet.
Magic Sword was released to arcade in 1990, Super Nintendo in 1995, and PSN and Xbox Live in 2010.
Nanami stops Victor, citing Necklord's own authority. Wait a minute. What do you mean, he says? Because Victor says he's an incarnation of one of the stuff. Is that like doubting that incarnation?
No, I think Nanami's wondering why Victor gendered the sword.
Oh, okay. Victor does not address Nanami's point, saying it's hard to explain and telling Rio, we gotta go get that Star Dragon sword and we get a choice. Don't make a decision for me.
Yeah.
They'll have to word out of that sentence.
Yeah.
Or okay.
What'd you say?
I say okay.
I say don't make decisions for me, Victor.
No, decision for me.
Oh, excuse me. Don't make this decision for me. Because Victor has been making all of our decisions for us ever since we floated down that river, right? If I say that, Victor continues to make the decision for me anyway.
No, just decision. There's no the.
Sorry. He says, oh, sorry about that, but there's no other way. Just listen to what I have to say. South of here is a place called the Cave of the Wind. In the deepest part of the cave, the Star Dragon sword is, should I say, sleeping or waiting or perhaps hiding would be closer to the truth.
Which one of those do you think is the truth? Because I don't think it's any of them.
I
think he fucking left it there.
I think that he got annoyed.
Yes.
At the sword.
If I had a talking sword, I would bury it or something.
And really, if he wanted to explain this to Nanami, he could have just said, the sword, it's got a fucking face.
Yes.
That's what I'm talking about. That's all he is.
The sword has a face. I say okay, and Victor tells me about the same thing Chris just said. Ellie, for some reason, steps forward and says, what? I'm not hiding anything.
What?
She steps forward and says, what? I'm not hiding anything.
I think here's how the conversation originally went. This is my guess here. That Victor was explaining something about the Star Dragon sword in, the original Japanese.
Yeah.
And
Ellie thought
that he was talking about her, like it paralleled her like weird crush on Rio and the reason she's here and all that kind of stuff. I think that was
comic relief.
Yeah, but it didn't come across. It was a total miss on the localization.
Victor gets flustered at that somehow and says we need to go. Freed Y says we need to hurry before anyone else loses their lives.
Mm-hmm.
We party up. I head north into town. I try to enter the building at the end, but light flashes and kicks me out. Nobody says shit.
Oh. I did a little bit of money grinding here.
Okay.
So that I could buy a rune for Ellie. By the way, speaking of Ellie,
Waste of money.
I got to the part in my notes that tells us how to pronounce her name.
How do you say that name, Chris?
According to our friend in the real net, Tokame says that Eiley matches the katakana the best.
Eiley. Okay.
Are we going to switch?
I'll go to Eiley.
Eiley?
Yeah, because it is like a weird I-E-L-I.
Yeah. I did give Eiley a lightning rune because she does have a pretty good magic stat. And she has a decent stock on magic. And, we're going to a cave. We're probably going to fight a boss. Lightning runes are good against single targets.
If you say so.
Let's go.
Cave of the Wind. Noise. It's windy in here. I captured it.
Mm-hmm.
Victor speaks first. Hey, this is it. The cave's behind this boulder. There's always a breeze blowing through it, so they call it the Cave of the Wind. When I was a kid, we used to come here to test our bravery, but be careful, there are monsters living in there now. Then fades to black, and Victor beats up the rocks.
Yeah, this game's got a ton of animation, but it cannot be asked to add beating the shit out of rocks animation.
No. He comes back, and Freed wants to make sure the Star Dragon Sword is in there. Victor confirms this, then says it'll be waiting for him. Eiley says something strange is going on, then asks Victor if he's hiding anything. And I'm like, is Victor hiding anything?
Oh, well.
I think Victor's like, I don't think he's hiding anything, but he hasn't given us the full story on this damn sword.
Yeah.
That's it. We party up, and I use the save point.
Oh, yeah, there's one here. Pimpa plays.
Pimp 2.
Pimpa 2. Pimpa.
Chris, this is a cave-ass cave, a great cave.
Yeah, have we had any cave-ass caves in this game yet?
I think so. Well, the one we went through to get our runes, but that was more of like a time tunnel.
Yeah, there was no traversal in there. Well, there's some battles in here. Do you love battles?
Did you fight your son?
I fought. Yeah, I did. I fought a griffin, my bird son is what I called it, which is the griffin looks like the griffin from myth and legend.
7 years old, spawn of Chris, golden fur, white shoulder pads, fluttering wings, does a flying dive kick.
This character has let's call it a expressive Star Ocean whack animation. You know when Star Ocean enemies get hit? I don't know if this was true in the Super Nintendo version. Go to patreon.com/retroim to find out and listen to our Star Ocean miniseries. But whenever, at least in the remake, whenever enemies would get hit, they had a real good eye-bulging comic animated sprites to signify that they are currently being whacked
off, right?
Yes.
Fought a sorcerer?
I did fight a sorcerer as well.
Fairly awesome sprite, no legs, purple dress with gold highlights and green shirt cuffs. Hovering, ball of magic shit ready to hurl.
Kamehameha's that shit sometimes. Those sprites were in the first game, but they look like to be improved here.
Minos.
Yeah, that's a buff Minotaur man with large maces.
Creature of legend wearing jeans.
Yeah, they drop Minotaur crystals, by the way.
What do you do? What's that?
It's a rune you can attach to your...
Is it a rune or a crystal? Are runes crystals? Should we start believing in crystals? You can be crystal guys?
No, crystals give you access to runes, to the runes. You can give it to an axe user, and it will attack one full row of enemies. I don't know if that means straight or horizontal. Who fucking knows?
It's a row, Chris. It can be whatever you want it to be as long as you do it.
Sun King.
I didn't get that.
Oh, only ran to one Sun King. He's the Buddha God guy. Remember we had some of these guys?
Mm-hmm.
He looks like he's taking the shit when he's shooting this ring attack.
So do I.
Yeah. Whatever. Probably. By the way, speaking of having magic and stuff.
Yeah.
It does seem like in this game that we have access to higher level spells earlier in this game.
You may. I do not.
Because at this point, we haven't pointed this out yet, but at this point in time, Rio does have access to his third spell. His father didn't even have to fucking die. And he has access to his father is dead.
His father's dead.
So that's why he already has it.
His real father, as far as we know, and his surrogate father are both dead. So it's double dead dad.
What if when we first got the rune, it did the sound, and then it immediately said, Bright Shield level 3.
Yeah.
With no context.
Leveled all the way up.
But anyway, we have
the soul of your father.
We have that spell. It's called Battle Oath, which in the item description says it heals everyone 300 HP.
Hell yeah.
The 300 HP is only true when you are out of battle. In battle, it is augmented by your magic stat, so it can do more than that.
Okay.
It also has the chance of making to make your characters glow red, and it is a Berserk status, which I think has no drawback like Final Fantasy Berserk. Final Fantasy Berserk's
Well, you lose control of your guy.
You auto attack, but this one you don't. You just are stronger, I think. So pretty good.
No, I'm stronger than yesterday.
I captured the sound here. My larger point about the runes here is that we do have access to the spells earlier, but the one thing to look out for as you continue to use runes in this video game is...
By you mean you, yeah.
Yes, is that characters will have access to additional rune slots. So by this point, Rio has access to have a rune on his left hand, and his right hand. So you can add a second rune and do that. Some characters, usually only strong magic users, will have access to put a rune on their forehead.
I don't like that.
Well, there are some runes that can only be mounted to the forehead, Eric. So.
Not in my game.
Okay.
Nobody's going to debase themselves like that, Chris.
Okay, well, anyway.
My party will respect their body.
What would you like to do now here in this cave of wind?
Find a sun badge and then a fish badge hidden behind a wall.
Oh.
Found those. You find those?
No, I think I found those. I found the fish badge, but I don't think I found the sun badge.
I got the sun badge. At some point, there's a bunch of rocks. I figured Viktor would beat them up, but he does nothing.
Yeah, this is a rock pushing puzzle.
Yes, there's like wind going through different tunnels. You got to push the rocks to block the wind so you can make safe passage.
This is Suikoden trying.
Yes, it is.
You know, like whatever they did in the Alex backyard dungeon.
Yeah,
was just like flip one switch or something.
That ain't shit.
But here they're trying to give you a little bit more leeway to work with this stuff.
I think there's 4 of these, and they get trickier as you progress. I had to use one of the rocks to block myself at a certain point.
Yeah.
Eventually, like, I think you got to make it through 3 of them, but the 4th one's extra tricky, and if you do, you get like a bonus room.
Yeah.
There's a room with 3 chests. They have 3,000 potch, medicine, and a blue gate rune.
Yeah.
There's a mysterious old man hanging out here.
Yeah, he's just chilling here. He wants me to have all his shit.
Yeah, want to take this with you? Good. I don't need it anymore anyway. Say it's a long way out of here. Want me to help with the exit? I say, no, thank you, sir. I'm not done with this dungeon yet.
Is this Suikoden 2's Johnny Robot, sort of?
Johnny Robot provided healing, store, maintenance, guidance. This guy just wants to take you back at the entrance pain-free, right?
Yeah.
Like he's an escape talisman personified.
Now, the blue gate crystal that you just picked up a second ago?
Yeah, I think I may have sold it. I don't know. What? My inventory has been full for a very long time, Chris. It might still be in that chest.
The blue gate crystal is, I just mentioned actually that there are some runes that you can only mount to your forehead.
Yeah, I wasn't listening.
Well, this is one of those. And do you know what the blue gate rune is, Eric?
Not in my party. It's on somebody's fucking forehead.
Well, it does a lot of... It has a lot of good... You should at least look at the fucking magic effects, because they're cool. Is once you get a character that can use it. But do you know how, like, all... I don't know if you know this or not, but all true runes have, like, child runes. Like, there's a true fire rune out there. There's a true wind rune, but we have access to the lower ones. You know that, right?
Yeah.
We talked about
true
that.
True runes, lower runes.
Yeah.
Right, lesser.
I think it was during the old book conversation. We talked about this. This rune, this blue gate crystal, this blue gate rune, is a child rune of the gate rune of Leknot and Windy fame. So if you ever want to cast any spells that Leknot knows, here's your opportunity. Just mount that shit to your forehead and cast blue gate spells.
The video game.
I think you can summon a skeleton warship.
I don't know that I need that. I killed many of those in Elden Ring.
Okay.
So in 2017 Prey, you could get these abilities that would infuse yourself with alien blood or some shit like that, and they would augment your powers and make the game much easier for you.
Yeah.
But you would be corrupting your soul with alien DNA and shit like that.
Yeah.
Runes are not of this earth, I am convinced. I don't want to corrupt myself with bullshit unless I have to. Like, it is not... I am like 100% humanist in this game. I want like the power of humanity to triumph, except when we need a special magic talking sword to kill a vampire. Like, I don't want to curse myself with these like occult artifacts to summon lightning out of the sky. Let's just use fists, blades, nunchucks, whatever we got. No magic rocks.
What are weapons of the god, if not weapons to kill God?
Well, surely it's like a trick. Like, a god would not make weapons that can destroy himself. That would be too tragically ironic.
But aren't gods ironic?
No, they're very straightforward most of the time.
I feel like
only the Greek gods bicker.
Okay. Maybe that's what I had in mind. Once I get access to these spells, I'm going to describe them all, because I remember them all being cool.
All right. Sound effects if you got them. At some point, the Howling Cave wind resumes. We encounter a man standing here alone. Viktor asks what the hell he's doing. Chris, this is Kahn. He's wearing all black everything with gold trim and a neat hat. He emerges and says, I was waiting for you, Viktor. Jesus fuck.
I should have seen this coming because I played this game before.
Yes, right.
But I also should have seen this coming because we only have 5 characters in our party.
Yes.
And they had to invent a scenario so we have an open slot here.
Viktor activates paranoia. How do you know my name? Are you one of Necklord's slaves? My guy responds, don't get so excited. I understand your feelings, though. Necklord, you're not the only one who has a grudge against him, you know. Viktor calms down, says, so you want a piece of him too, eh? Kahn says yes, and then, the Marley family has been hunting vampires for generations. My father and his father before him both hunted Necklord. Ever since I was a young boy, I vowed that I would destroy him. In the name of the Marley family, I swear I will destroy him. Chris, did Konami fuck up and not call this guy a Belmont?
Die, monster! You don't belong in this world.
That's what I was going to say. I was thinking Belmont, and then I think Flip Minix chimed in during the stream and said also like Van Helsing.
Yeah,
type deal.
Van Helsing,
Like,
clearly.
Yeah. But yeah, I also had Belmont, copyright Konami.
It's funny that Marley just told him that, and Victor no-sells it and says, what do you want from him?
Yeah.
Dude then says, my business isn't with you, it's with the Star Dragon sword and the Rune of the Night. Necklord is using his doppelganger secret
Ugh.
to make a double of himself.
What's your doppelganger secret, Eric?
God damn it, that was my question to you.
Oh, you want to ask me?
No, hold on, let me think of one. Like, what would I do if I could clone myself that's not, like, tragic and will make people cry?
I was just going
I
to say...
would operate a Cold Stone Creamery for a day.
Oh, so your doppelganger secret is what you would do if you had a doppelganger?
Yeah, like I would go live my dream and then die.
I was thinking about how do you convince people that you have a doppelganger?
Oh, like there's two of me?
Yeah.
Like without being able to bring them along?
Yeah.
Japes and tricks.
Okay.
Like basically, if you see multiplicity, that's what I would do.
White guys with beards. That's my doppelganger secret.
Oh, yeah.
I could be any one of them.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's okay, because I interpreted that differently. My note here was, Chris, what would your doppelganger secret be? And don't say go to Target by yourself.
So, okay, if I had a doppelganger to do
Like,
my
what would you
bit-
do with your free time if you, like, there was a clone of you here to take care of bullshit?
Okay. I would not be a vampire. I'd probably just, like, travel alone.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Done that plenty of times.
Yeah.
It's great. Until you end up on a train in Germany, you don't know where you're going.
Yeah, then I find out, like, my doppelganger, like, lost one of my kids or something.
Victor can't believe this shit. Kahn is like, yeah, bro, he's a vampire who's lived for hundreds of years. He's learned a few tricks in that time. But if we use the night rune to cast his spirit out, then seal it, I think we'll be able to capture his spirit. I think that was in folklore.
Yeah, maybe.
Victor understands the stupid sword, but doesn't appear to understand the night rune. Quote, he's the reason we didn't beat Necklord the first time. Kahn basically says they have no chance to defeat Necklord without the Star Dragon sword. Quote, that's why I was waiting for you. I knew you'd be coming to get it. Victor asks Kahn why he didn't use the dumb sword himself. Kahn replies, no, that sword was not meant for my hands. In any case, the way it looks, and that makes sense to Victor when Kahn's like, oh, the way it looks. He says it with like trepidation and fear.
So it's not necessarily not meant for Kahn's hand. Kahn just thinks it's fucked up. You don't want to look at it.
Yes, and like I think he knows Victor has experience, and like to gaze upon the sight of the Star Dragon sword is to look into the face of a demon god.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
Kahn requests to travel with us, and he uses solid reasoning. After all, our goal is the same.
Mm-hmm. And we've got 5. We got an open slot. Let's go.
Well, I jam the button that says no way, and Victor tells me the more allies we have, the better.
Okay, thanks, Victor.
Kahn joins the party. Chris, do you trust this Kahn?
I mean, you see his hat, right? But I think that this game needs a vehicle to keep Necklord in it longer.
Okay.
And
Kahn's it?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's his purpose. But no, I don't think I trust him. I feel like, I mean, do vampire hunting families have dark secrets?
Always, they have to. Like,
Yeah.
they have a curse in addition to their, like, the reason they hunt a vampire is because they are cursed because they did some other fucked up shit.
Yeah.
Usually identical to vampire shit.
Yeah, okay.
Music, Pemp 2 resumes.
Pimpa.
Eventually, I make it to the clearing at the edge of a cliff. Light shines on the Star Dragon sword, and the howling wind resumes.
Yeah, there's like an opening behind it, like where you could...
It's like a cliff edge. Like,
Yeah.
Victor climbed up there and stuck it in the ground and climbed back down.
Yeah.
Ellie says this is... Eiley says this is a Star Dragon sword. Victor opens a dialogue. So have you been, pal? The Star Dragon sword with a face portrait that looks, quote, fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's more fucked than before, I think.
It's a screaming man head lodged into a hilt.
Yeah, have you ever seen Beauty and the Beast? He's got
Be more specific.
the Disney adaptation of Beauty
Be
and the
more
Beast.
specific.
There's
2 of those.
The animated one.
Oh, be more specific.
There's 2 of those?
Isn't the new one CG or some shit like that?
Oh, I don't... Is there a new one?
Yeah. It's part of that whole revival shit.
Oh.
I think.
The one that came out in the 90s.
Okay. Well, no. Wasn't that 89? No, it was 90.
Fucking, I don't know. I have no idea.
Be more specific. Tale as old as time. Mrs.
The
fucking
fucking
Potts.
the fucking candle face guy. The Star Dragon sword
Lemire?
looks like him.
Lumineer?
Like a fucked version of him.
Fucked Lumineer as the Star
Yes. Be our guest.
Be our guest. Be our guest.
Copyright Disney Corporation.
It hits Victor with the dots of disgust. Victor asks what's wrong, and then asks if the sword is alive. Eiley knows what's up. What do you expect? Calling him stupid, dumb? You've got to speak to him with more respect. Chris, put some respect on that talking sword.
Yeah.
The screen flashes and the sword speaks. Victor, you have the nerve to come back to the place where you abandoned me so many years ago? Uh-oh, Chris.
Yeah,
Abandonment issues. Like, You don't fuck with this sword, man.
No.
Eiley jumps and screams. Remember the last time the sword sent us back in time?
Yeah, I was hoping that was going to happen again. That would be interesting to see Ginkaku's past or something.
Victor rejects this accusation. Did you say abandoned? Talk about ungrateful. I figured you would appreciate quiet and solitude. That's all. Talking swords are never just okay with being talking swords. They either love violence or detest it. It's never like somewhere in the middle where like, yeah, use me if you want to.
Yeah.
I don't know. Give me a Victor and talking sword Muso game.
Yeah, sure.
Eiley can't believe the sword is talking and that Victor called it pal, which is a pretty good joke. The Star Dragon Sword has his favorite garbage song, Stupid Girl.
Oh, you had to waste it.
Yeah?
I'm an incarnation of the Night Room. I'm not pals with him or anyone else. This man is nothing more than my servant. Do you agree with that? Because Victor looks like is pretty much doing whatever he wants, right? Who serves who here, right? Do they both hate each other and it's like a mutual like friend pal? Like that's what I think the Muso game, where they can just talk to each other the entire time.
I always
doing bloodlust.
The sword can send us back in time, right? Like it has that potential.
I mean,
So if it didn't want to go with Victor, then it wouldn't go with Victor.
it is. I think you would need more citations to know the sword did that. It could have been the rune, the room that we were in.
Oh yeah, it was a
Like-
magic cave, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a magic cave, and it just happened to be in the sword room. Victor takes a step forward and resumes his dumbass ways. What did you say, you rusty old piece of scrap metal? Who did you call servant? The Star Dragon Sword replies, how dare you tell me to be quiet? Chris, we're going to have to fight the goddamn sword.
Yeah, the sword's the boss.
Victor gets even more angry. Shut up, you make my head hurt with your constant moaning and complaining. Victor's like, oh, wait a minute. And the sword slashes itself and starts hovering?
Yeah.
Victor knows the sword is really mad and tells everybody to grab their weapons. The sword replies, now I'll show you.
It's a boss battle. The
boss-
sword is huge.
Yeah, it's goddamn huge and glowing blue on the screen, and it does column attacks.
Like a lightning rod
Yeah,
type attack. It's odd.
I kill it pretty easily, honestly.
Yeah, I use a family attack.
Oh, I just use sword attack button.
Oh, I use some lightning magic with Ellie and the Titan room with Victor to win this thing. Freed Y sucks, by the way. I gave him the medicine rune and he never uses it. It doesn't work. Supposed to randomly use medicine to heal people, but he doesn't do it.
No, I don't do it randomly. I assign people to heal others with medicine.
Yeah, but it doesn't waste a turn. Anyway, after
Well, if
yeah,
it didn't work, then it didn't do shit. Your
What?
rune has failed you. Your rune has failed you.
Maybe
the
Freed,
magic you trusted to keep you safe didn't do anything.
maybe Freed Y has failed me. You know,
Would Freed do that? Freed, why'd you fail him?
I don't know. He's too busy thinking about his wife.
When I kill the sword, it shrinks.
Yeah,
After the battle, Victor is huffing and puffing. He asks the sword if it feels better, then tells it not to get so mad. The Star Dragon Sword replies, what? Once I get this mad, I fight my enemies. I fight until my enemies are routed. Victor, Chris, understands the severity of the situation.
yeah.
Yikes, okay, I'm really sorry. Forgive me, great God. Please forgo your vengeance, O Star Dragon Sword. Does the sword sense sarcasm here?
Is Victor being sarcastic?
I think so.
Okay. I don't think the sword. Maybe that's what it is. The sword is a dumbass,
Okay,
and he thinks that that Victor is bending to his will, but really Victor's just carrying the fucking
right.
sword.
Like the sword can't read emotions or something like that? Or like understand sarcasm as a human concept?
Aside from Flik and Odessa, I think that the relationship that we have discussed the most in this game is this relationship.
Victor and the sword?
Yeah.
Great. The sword calms down. Very well, but tell me, servant, why did you come back here? Victor tells him, and I think he's telling him straight, Necklord is still alive, or since he's a vampire, perhaps I should say dead. Anyway, he's back. Great sentence.
Yeah.
The Star Dragon Sword cannot believe this shit. You mean that nasty vampire? I thought I disposed of him. Kahn tells him the real shit. Necklord is using his doppelganger secret. In other words, he's a vampire with a powerful rune. The Star Dragon Sword replies, impudent little bloodsucker. If that's true, perhaps I'll go with you. Victor's into this shit.
Yeah.
Come on, pal, do it for old time's sake. I mean, please, I beg of you. Because like Victor's like yeah, but then like goes back into his placation mode.
Yes.
The sword replies, very well then. It floats down into Victor's hand and it speaks. Okay, we're ready. Normal attacks don't work on Necklord, but if we can seal his power with this thing. And the Star Dragon Sword takes offense to the word thing.
Yeah.
Doesn't like it. Victor corrects himself. If we can seal his power by using the power of the great Star Dragon Sword, perhaps we can beat him. And Chris idly laughs.
Yes.
She's in on it.
She finally understands what the hell's going on.
Freed Y talks for some reason. Well, now that we're friends again, let's go back to North Window. It's time to do my job.
Freed loves the work.
Yes, he enjoys the process. Rio walks to the front of the cave, then it fades to black, and we're back at the entrance. Did he jump out this window, or did he just...
Remember that kid in Chrono Cross that says, do you want to be the wind?
Okay, yeah.
We beat the wind.
We beat the wind.
Okay.
Chris, we need to kill this vampire with the talking sword again, but we can't do it till next time.
Instead, the RealNet will kill us with their great comments because we'll laugh so hard till we die.
That's right.
Initializing RealNet.
RealNet. Hello, RealNet. Mr. Slyke says Flik and Viktor have reverted to Suikoden 1 levels. Yeah, did we get any like boost from importing our save data for those guys being higher level? Because
I did. They were at level 20 when I picked them up.
they were roughly the same for me. But the one thing that I noticed that appeared to be enhanced with Viktor is that his sword was level 9, and no one else can get even close to that. So I don't know what that's supposed to mean.
I didn't look up what the bonus transfers were specifically. I just looked up who got them because I didn't want to spoil myself on that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. I have Airwolf says Odessa went to a different school. You wouldn't know her.
Yeah, right. She doesn't go to your school, man. Stop talking about it.
John Doe says, is us learning that Viktor was born in North Window essentially confirmation that Necklord is the reason this town is totaled? Yeah, I think at that point in the game it is, when we're getting that context. By the way, North Window was referenced in the first game, but it was localized as Northwind when Viktor was talking about his past. Which, honestly, Northwind sounds a little better than... Northwind. I like how weird it is, but also Northwind makes more sense. The Cave of the Wind is there, you know. There's a north wind, a south wind. I think that's was supposed to be the vibe, the theme.
How do you feel about towns named after directions?
Town like
North Wind,
like West Virginia,
North Window. Well, I meant like in this game, like in RPGs. Like, do you prefer more creativity, or do you think like Westlake or whatever that was?
Well, I think it helps give us a kind of a reference point for the.
If you know of Templeton, sure.
The way these things are not physical, but like a reference point for understanding the city states. Because like this north window, south window, this is all part of the window area, stuff like that. By the way, somebody in the YouTube comments pointed this out, that Templeton is the name of the rat or the mouse or something in Charlotte's Web, and Templeton is the rat star in the thing.
Jesus.
So it's got to be deliberate, I guess.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So whoever did that, thank you. That's an interesting fact.
FakeNet, who did that?
Initializing FakeNet.
YouTube hacker alias, or Specs AO.
John Doe says, I cannot fucking believe that Necklord literally returned to the scene of the crime and started kidnapping girls again. Dude has one move.
You've got a pattern, right? Like if you need to feast on young blood or whatever, then...
Dubert points out that Necklord is the only character who gets his own CG intro. Like it's Final Fantasy VIII or whatever, you know? And John Doe says, to be fair, Necklord is the only one who deserves a CGI intro.
For now, yeah.
Yeah, like if you're going to...
I went to Star Dragon Sword, should have gotten one, in my opinion, but... Like, I kind of don't like that they did the organ playing maniac vampire again.
Yeah, but they did put that particular CG cutscene in the perfect place.
Yeah,
because you thought that you're going to fade out back to the town or whatever,
right.
And then you get that. I didn't remember that. I was shocked.
It's fantastic.
Mr. Slyke says, cast a spell where you force a teenager into war after giving him stone tablets and a child wizard.
Stone temple tablets.
Flipmenic says. God damn it. Flipmenic says Blue Gate Rune is one of the best runes, Eric.
I'm not doubting their power. I'm just saying I don't want my soul to be corrupted.
We just want you to experience
I don't want to experience eternal damnation. Maybe you are cool with that, but I'm not.
Panda Pajamas says bringing Necklord back feels like a B-level filler side villain plot when Luca Blight exists.
Yeah, that is weird.
Yeah, and he's at like, I don't know if it's obvious to the player yet. It's been hinted at that we're approaching the castle moment in this game, and like, Necklord is occupying the castle, and so he's the zombie dragon of this game.
Yeah, that is pretty funny. Will his corpse just be in the basement the rest of the game?
That's all we got for the RealNet tonight. Thank you, RealNet, for joining us tonight. This episode is a production of Retrograde Amnesia, recorded on August 2nd, 2022. We're on Twitter at RetroAmnesiaPod. We're on the email podcast@retrogradeamnesia.com. Support us on patreon.com/retroam. Get all the stuff there. Thank you, Mark.
Shepard.
For the music.
You're welcome, Chris.
Until next time, Eric.
Yes, we'll definitely kill Necklord this time, right?
Yes, certainly this plot won't be strung out across the entire game. And now you may go back to sleep. It says light ID chaos 30. I thought it said light 10 Chads 30.
10 Chads will light your way.
Would you like to hear some hot sounds that I've recorded?
The guy who won the race was 15 years old, yes.
Then you beat him too.
No, I didn't.
You have a handicap, Eric.
Literally twice his age and then 8. He was born in 2007. Fuck me. All right. Yes.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. He's younger.
Your kids will be that in 8 years.
He's younger than Gears of War. Or is he? No,
Yeah. Gears of War was 2006. Oh my God. The PS3 was out.
You were born after Pac-Man.
Yes, I was.
And the way you think about Pac-Man is the same way that kid thinks about Gears of War.
Can't. No way. Nope. No. Holy shit.
Oh, man. Wow. Okay, anyway.
Can I go home?
Yeah, I mean, if you want, I mean, it's, we're way ahead. If you want to take the night off, sure. Secret number 3, he really worshipped that old guy. It's past tense.
What?
I'm going to change the tense of this so that I don't spoil anything. He really worships that. Am I saying worship?
Dude, I've lost the plot on your vernacular tonight. Just say whatever word you want and I'll believe it.
He really worshipped that old
Admires. Say admires.
He really admires that old guy.
Victor does not address the point, saying it's hard to explain and telling Rio, we got to go get the Star Dragon sword. Oh, I've totally fucked up.
Yeah?
The best part about multiplicity is he did not allow his clones to have sex with his wife, and they all did anyway.
We're stopping there, right?
Yeah.
Fuck this. I'm going to have some tea.